Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Golden Africa and welcome to those who are new here. My name is Murungi Sarah and thank you so much for choosing to spend your time with me. Just while I still have you, please subscribe, please like this video, please share it with your community and let's get straight into the episode. So the elephant in the room is I disappeared for quite some time. Uh maybe 7 months or so, but who's counting? And then I came back with a solo episode audio. I had disappeared for another month, and then I came back with a video this time, about a month ago, and then I disappeared again. But I'm back now. I'm back, and I'm here to stay. And believe me when I say this time, because we've expanded the team, we have a lot of growth, and I have a lot of time now. Because let's just say I've freed up some space within my schedule, my day-to-day schedule, to make sure that I'm adhering to you so that I'm catering to you and your needs. I care about you. And I really missed you too. I know some of y'all said you missed me. I have proof. So it's not even me tooting my own horn. But I just have some of the best community ever. Gold Africans, incredible people. So I had to go through a lot of character building before I could come back and come back fully, before I could make certain decisions, life-changing decisions that I had to make earlier this year and earlier this month as well. But here I am, and I'm here to share some of those lessons with you, so that we can all learn together and grow together. So I'll be sharing that progress over time, but today I have a solo episode, an episode structure that you like. The ones where I attack myself, but you're collateral damage. Those who have been here for a while know exactly how this goes. So I will say the disclaimer right now, before the new ones click out. It's not you, it's me. It's definitely me. So yeah, and I will apologize for how some of the things that I will be saying will be kind of raw, and it seems like I'm attacking you specifically, but it really isn't. You and I are very similar. We're not that different. So just before you think I'm your FBI agent, I've been spying on you, checking your TikToks and whatnot, is not true. Um, it's not. I think, yeah. So just because we're similar, again, this might hit hard on you, but it's all love. I just want you to grow. I just want you to grow, Pookie. And it started with one of my friends, Lisa. I keep mentioning her name, but she's incredible. Lisa Kanyomozi. She posted something maybe 4 months ago at this point where she was asking, "What's your question?" No, no, no. She posted this about a month ago, or maybe 4 months ago. I don't know. But it's stuck in my head. It was on Instagram. She put like one of those question tags. She said, "What's your excuse?" I was like, "Sorry, what do you mean?" And at the top, I think she had put something along the lines of, "What's stopping you from achieving all your dreams?" Something like that. She's like, "What's your excuse exactly?" I'm like, "Sorry, like, why are you attacking me at this time?" And I remember it was in the middle of the night. It was like 11 p.m. or so. And I was like, it hit me so hard. So I did a lot of reflection. I ended up making a few life-changing decisions because of that and a few other things. So basically, at a point, at the point that I'm in right now in my life, and well, more specifically, maybe exactly a month ago, everything and everyone around me, including my mentors, my friends, everyone, it was telling me to make the decision to bet on myself. Everything, whether it's in business, whether it's at my job, whether it's through my friends, whether it's my mentors, like one of my mentor in particular, he was like, "Sarah, what's stopping you from pursuing your dreams? You always say you have all these goals. Like, how come you're not actually working on them?" I'm like, "Sorry, um, I don't know." And then my producer, Fred, Fred, he goes, "Sarah, like, I'm here to support you and create all these episodes and whatnot, but you keep disappearing. Like, why is it that you keep choosing other things over your own business?" And I'm like, it was about time. It was about time someone put me into my own basically they fed me my own medicine, like, and it hit home. And that's why we're really here and doing things the way we're doing it right now. So yeah, that's something. And so basically out of all of that, I had to learn to show up for myself, to bet on myself, to sponsor myself, to basically make sure that I'm nurturing myself in order for me to achieve the life that I want to live. In order for me to be successful, it's up to me to put in the work to make me get to exactly where I want to be. Because it's not going to fall down from the heavens and all of a sudden I'm a billionaire and, well, this is not my dream. But yeah, all of a sudden I'm rich, I don't know, philanthropic and whatnot. It all starts with the small things. So that's exactly what I want to talk about today, but more specifically, what my excuses have been and what kind of excuses you might have that are preventing you from creating the life that you want to live? Um, and the bottom line is, in order to be treated like something precious, in order for people to see value within you, you have to see that value within yourself and have a ripple effect in your life. Do you get what I'm throwing? Are you catching what I'm throwing? Um, because at the end of the day, if you're not taking good care of yourself, if you're not showing up for yourself, if you're running out of bed 10 minutes before work has to start and you have like a 5 minutes um move to work and whatnot, and basically you did nothing self-development wise in order for you to pour into yourself before pouring into other people's businesses, then at the end of the day, how exactly are people going to see value in you? Because you're not increasing your value whatsoever. You're literally delaying your own goals by pouring into other people's businesses, pouring into the job that will replace you in 2 seconds. They'll fire you in 2 seconds. So at the end of the day, are you showing up for yourself or are you neglecting yourself? Why are you distracting yourself from achieving your goals by making yourself busy with unnecessary things? Why is that? Because that's quite literally self sabotage. And a lot of us do this unintentionally. We say, oh, I have so many goals. Every month I am setting goals, I am creating the vision board. But at the end of the day, the month ends and I haven't done anything for myself. Why is that? Because you're sabotaging yourself. You're binging Netflix, you're reading all these fictional books or even self-help books saying I'm improving myself. But when you're not putting any action behind it, you're doing nothing. You're doing nothing. Yeah. And that's just something that I have had to face within myself because I found myself drowning myself in self-help books, especially I don't know, psychology of money, Project Almanac, all these different books that are really nice, Atomic Habits and whatnot. Um, Think Like a Monk. All of these books I've read in making myself think that, oh, I'm pouring into myself. But at the end of the day, once I realized that I wasn't actually putting in any work from those books into my own life, then I realized that I was actually just procrastinating in a cute way, but still procrastinating. At the end of the day, I was still delaying my own goals. I was still delaying the work that needed to be put in order for me to create the life that I wanted to live? And I have a feeling that you might be doing the same too. It's just a feeling. It's just a feeling. Don't sue me. And I just feel like this is something that we need to evaluate right now. Look at the greats in your field, right? Um, when I look at people like Stephen Bartlett, when I look at people like Grace Beverly, I look at people like Georgie, a friend of mine, Georgine Dirango. When I look at all the people who are doing incredible things in their lives, I realize that they start their days by pouring into themselves. They'll wake up even an hour earlier, journal, write their goals down, meditate, pray, show up for themselves, work out, eat healthy and whatnot before going into their jobs or businesses and showing up for other people. Because at the end of the day, you're not pouring from an empty cup, right? You're trying to basically what I have been doing and what you're probably doing is you're pouring from an empty cup and wondering why you're not really productive at work, why you're not really progressing in your business, but at the end of the day, you're not pouring into yourself. Because the more you pour into yourself, the more you can pour into other people, right? Into other businesses and whatnot. So that's just a life hack. It sounds obvious, but I haven't been doing it. And that's just something that over the past month has really transformed how I see life, because I did take some time to pour into myself. I did take some time to grow and meditate and think about my life really, and now start acting with intention. And that's something that has actually made a huge difference. So the more you start showing up for yourself each day and showing up for yourself first, not putting it at the end of the day, at the beginning of your day, you start by pouring into you. Take time, even if it's 5 minutes, even if 30 minutes, whatever it is, do what works for you. And I'm not saying you should wake up at 3 a.m. every day to work out and whatnot. No, I don't do that. I sleep. Sleeping for me is a way of self-care, by the way. That's just a side note. But yeah, so once you look at the greats in your field, the people that you aspire to be like, then find ways of kind of mirroring some of the things that they're doing, see if it works, iterate, keep changing, and then stick to what works for you, specifically for you. And that's the key thing here, because everything has to be tailor-made for you in order for you to thrive. It's not just about, that's why I have something against self-help books these days, because a lot of things sound so factual. It's like, oh, you have to wake up at this time, you have to do this, and this so that you can be successful. And I do get that how I do get how maybe this podcast could be similar to that. But at the end of the day, all these things that we're throwing out there, like you have to pick only what works for you, specifically for you. And that's something I think that it's one of the highest forms of love, I think, for yourself. Um, and something that you will realize once you start implementing this is the more you prove to yourself that you are on your own side, that you are you're willing to put in the work to create the dreams that you have, to create the life that you have, you'll start to notice a shift in how life happens. Other people are going to start showing up for you as well. Things are going to start being in your favor. And I don't know if it's what those girlies call manifestation or it's something like that, because every time I work from home, like specifically from home, where I'm like, I'm working from my bed on my couch, things don't necessarily, the ball isn't rolling as fast as it should be. But the moment I step out of the house and I'm showing up for myself, I'm supervising my carpenters and whatnot, I start to realize that I even meet clients on the way. I'm not putting it as much work in terms of discoverability and whatnot, in terms of networking. Like things are just kind of happening for me. And that's because I'm putting in something. There's something I grew up with. My dad has always said this since I could remember. He says, you don't make money. No, you have to spend money in order to make money, right? So, and it's not even just in the sense of money. You have to put in effort in order for things to also work out for you. And that's something I really believe to my core, because whenever I show up and actually put in an effort, even if it's something small, even if it's something minute, like things just kind of, the ball keeps running. And yeah, so on a serious note, when it comes to my personal excuses, when it comes to your excuses, you actually have to go through an ugly phase where you're crying, you're journaling out the fact that it's you, like you have been the problem this whole time. It's not because your job suffocates you, it's not because of the people you work with, it's not because of the country you live in, it's not because of your family home, it's not because of any of that. Because at the end of the day, everyone out there who's successful, they have different backgrounds. I'm sure at least one person out there has the same exact background as you. So you realize at the end of the day that it's been you. You've been the problem. It's not the situations that have prevented you from working out. It's not the situations that have prevented you from reading 10 extra pages a day. It's not the situations that have prevented you from showing up for yourself instead of showing up at the job. I mean, this doesn't apply to everyone. Granted, some people do have like crazy hours, like they're spread very thin in terms of mentally draining home situations and whatnot, which is true. But at the end of the day, if you actually were to be very, 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 very honest with yourself and you kind of nitpick at each and everything and track everything that you do on every single day, you realize, well, that hour I spent scrolling on TikTok, I could have worked on my business, I could have worked on my business plan. That 5 hour Netflix binge on a Sunday, even though it was necessary for me to, zen out, there are better ways to zen out, I could have worked out, I could have taken a walk, I could have relaxed, I could have talked to my family, friends, I could have relaxed in other more productive, actual active rest ways instead of Netflix. These are just different things. I do Netflix binge. I'm not judging you whatsoever. This is something I do myself. As I said, it's not you, it's definitely me. I'm the problem. Um, and something that has really helped me kind of keep track of these self-sabotaging tendencies has been me tracking my own life, right? With my Google Calendar, with my journal, my daily journal, and also my notes app, I kind of try to keep track of every hour of the day. Like, what do I do in every hour? So that I can kind of, at the end of the week, I see, okay, where did I spend unnecessary time? Also, my screen time. My screen time shows me everything that I need to know about how I'm wasting my time. Because on some days, like, why, Sarah, why are you spending 10 hours, 10 hours on your phone? TikTok has 4 hours. Like, be for real right now. And you're saying, oh, I have such huge goals. No, it doesn't match up. Like, your reality is not matching up to your goals. So find ways to kind of convene these two in order for you to actually live the life that you want. And another life hack I would say is have some kind of like visual representation of your goals. Um, Right now, I'm not using vision boards. I have one on Pinterest and I have Pinterest boards and whatnot. But in my room, I have this whiteboard. It has 3 bullet points right now. Right now, it says "Dululu" until it's Trululu. It says trust the process and trust in Allah. And these 3 things have really been keeping me going because anytime someone is like, "Oh, that's crazy. That's so far out of reach," da, 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 I'm like, for you, like, why are you projecting on me, so that I can kind of try and show up for myself without an excuse, without any deniability, without any restraints. um and I think you can do that too, or find other ways that work for you. For some people, they prefer physical vision boards. Other people, Pinterest. Other people is just notes and goals, written goals and whatnot. Whatever works for you, do that. Um, and also on top of that, while you're writing down those goals, kind of try to fully picture exactly who you want to be. Create this persona, become her. What if there's this quote that I saw recently. Let me try to remember. It says, "What if the reason why you feel so depressed, you're not happy, you're not fulfilled with the life that you're living, is because a future version of you is looking down on you and saying, 'You're the reason why I'm not living the life that I want to live.'" Um, and me being visual, like, I see myself in different ways, in different senses. Like, I'll see a younger version of me, I'll see an older version of me, I'll see me right now. And when I look back to the younger version of me, I can see some of the decisions she could have done it better. And I could be farther than I am today. And I'm pretty sure that's how my future version of me is looking down on me right now. But I'm trying to break that um shackle. I'm trying to break that pattern. So that the future version of me right now, maybe Sarah from next year around this time, is looking down on me and saying, "Oh, I'm happy that you actually showed up that day. I'm really happy that you made the decision to quit your job. I'm really happy that you made the decision to actually show up for your businesses. I'm really happy that you decided to collaborate with people instead of competing with them." And that's exactly what I want you to do as well. Kind of try to really visualize exactly who you want to be, visualize the younger version of you, and every day make decisions that are aligned with who you want to be. Also learning from the decisions that you've made that have led you up to this point, the point at which you're not happy with the life that you're living right now. Okay? Do yourself a favor, make it easy for you to become the person that you want to be. And this happens in systems. Like, instead of just setting goals and letting them sit there until December, kind of create systems like, okay, these are the goals that I want to achieve. if I want my podcast to have 100,000 subscribers by end of next year. Like, it's not just a goal that you write down and leave it there. Like, at the end of the day, I have to actually set the goal and say, oh, I have to record 4 episodes each and every month and publish 4 episodes each and every month. What does it take in order to do that? I have to reach out to X amount of people each and every day in order to get guests, in order to have team members that will help me, create the podcast that I want it to be, at the end of next year. Things like that. Or if I want to have a six-pack of abs by next year, I'm not. I'm sorry for laughing. I'm sorry for laughing. This is a serious goal. If I want to have a six-pack of abs, instead of just writing that goal and leaving it there in the void, create goals that are actually systems. Say work out at least 3 times a week and whatnot. Eat healthy, stuff like that. You get the gist. You're smart enough to get it. And as we reach the tail end of this conversation, um, I want you again to ask yourself, what exactly is stopping you from living the life that you want to live? Look at yourself in the mirror because the answer is right there. It's been you. It's been you this whole time. And try to show yourself some compassion. Try to actually put in the work to help yourself grow instead of sabotaging yourself. Try to put in effective measures that allow you to thrive. Try to ensure that you get to live your wildest dreams. And the only way is by showing up for yourself. The only way is calling bullshit to your own excuses. So, as we reach the tail end of this conversation, I want you to think about this idea, the idea of your past self and your future self. And will you be looking back in regret, or will you be looking back in gratitude, thanking yourself for actually putting in the work that you needed to catapult yourself to where you are in that future sense, right? So again, look at yourself in the mirror, talk to yourself, journal, and figure out your excuses. Figure out how you've been self-sabotaging, because at the end of the day, if you keep lying to yourself, you're not gonna get anywhere, right? So be really raw with yourself, be vulnerable with yourself, allow yourself to get to the nitty-gritties of what's been holding you back, and you will be able to kind of spring yourself into an exponential reality, like a life that you really, really thought you'd never even get to achieve. And that's only because you've been able to tackle your own excuses. So cut the crap, cut the bullshit, and actually work on yourself, because it's really up to you to create the life that you've always wanted to achieve. And again, this is all love. It's all love. And yeah, that's all from this week's episode. And as always, my dear, stay gold and go get it.